think that I should start by saying, yo.
What's up, guys? Welcome to my channel. My name is Jamila. If this is your first time to my channel, I'm a licensed esthetician. I'm a therapist. I like to share lifestyle content, travel content, skincare tips, and therapy content. So this video is going to be about my experience at Capella University going through Internship 1. I am working on my master's degree in marriage and family therapy. So first, I want to talk about the requirements. With internship, you have 4 internships that you have to complete in order to graduate, and it's a total of 300 direct hours. So this video is just about my experience with Internship 1. I just completed Internship 1, so I wanted to create a video while it was fresh on my brain with my experiences in hopes to help other people who are about to go through the same thing. Let's talk about the requirements that are needed during Internship 1. Let's break it down because you are accumulating hours during this time. So you have to accumulate a total of 40 direct client hours over 10 weeks. Over that 10 weeks, you also have to accumulate 24 MFT faculty supervision hours. And you have to present at least one time in the quarter. You have to present an audio or a video recording of yourself doing therapy at the agency that you work in. On top of those requirements, you have to attend a virtual class for 2 hours one time out of the week. For me personally, that time out of the week was on Thursday. And with Capella University, you are working on CST time. So I had to convert over what the timing was that I was supposed to be in class. I was actually in class the first day at the wrong time. I missed like a whole hour because I converted the CST time completely wrong. I was supposed to be in class at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I was in class at 11:30. So I just got started off all wrong. Okay, so those are the requirements. So let's talk about how you even get the agency that you're supposed to be working at to accumulate these hours. Well, first and foremost, for the marriage and family therapy program at Capella University right now, I don't know how it was before, but they allow you to get your hours virtually, okay? There's pros and cons to this, but for me, it was great. I was able to work at an agency of a friend of the family who already owned an agency, but this agency is in DC and I'm living in Georgia. It was, very easy for me to see my clients virtually, but I'm actually working for an agency that is not in the state that I'm located in. So it can be tough looking for an agency if you don't have a connection like I did, but you really want to try to find somewhere where you can work with diverse clients to be able to get a full experience to see who you might want to work with if you already don't have an idea on what you kind of want to specialize in. And I told my supervisor, I'm not too sure what I want to do. I don't know if I want to specialize in couples, families, children. I know I want to work with everybody, but I want to be able to niche it down. So just kind of give me everybody. So I've had a very diverse experience with my internship being in Washington, D.C. I want to talk about self-care and just, giving yourself some time to really take care of yourself during this process. Because if you think about it, with Internship 1, you have 10 weeks and you're trying to accumulate 40 hours and you don't even realize the first few weeks, you're not even able to take any clients sometimes because you don't have any clients and your supervisor is trying to help you to build your caseload. So for the first, I would say 3 weeks, it was a struggle for me to have clients. And I've come to find that I actually like couples. Couples at my particular agency, you have to meet with them. Sessions are 90 minutes. So that was very helpful for me to be able to get my hours that I needed because couples are relational, but they're still direct hours. And if I have to do an hour and 30 minutes, I can actually build up my direct hours pretty quickly. But on top of that, I learned that I actually really love working with couples. So I'm going to take this with me as I continue into internship 2, 3, and 4, working with more couples to be able to get more experience and also being able to build up those hours without a lot of stress. When I first started, I told her, just give me everybody, right? I'm like, put them on at any time. I didn't have a schedule. I was like, I don't have a full-time job. I'm an entrepreneur. I've closed my spa. All I'm doing right now is focusing on my skincare line. So I have time. So I need these hours. I need to graduate. I'm almost finished. Just put people on my schedule. And I will say by week 10 of internship 1, I was burnt out. Okay. I'm talking about my hands were shaking. I already have like a very mild case of anxiety. I think we all do. But for me, it was me feeling extremely overwhelmed, and I wasn't clear on some of the requirements as well. And unfortunately, my fault, I waited till the end to start double checking my hours, and I'm realizing that some things were off. So remember that I said you need 24 AAMFT supervisor hours. These hours are accumulated when you go to class. When you go to class, your classes are 2 hours long. So that is going to be 2 hours once a week that you're able to accumulate meeting with your class. One of those hours are going to be your observation hours that you get when one of your classmates presents their case. The Capella program requires that you use the Marriage and Family Therapy Handbook to make sure that you are getting the hours that you're supposed to be getting, right? Well, the issue is they have not updated this handbook, and the handbook says that you need 20 AAMFT faculty hours when in fact it's actually 24. And so the only reason most of us knew was because our teacher put it in the announcements. If you missed that announcement, you didn't know. If you didn't hear her say it in class, you didn't know. My issue is the fact that Capella makes it a big deal that you use the handbook, but the handbook is not even updated. So this is an issue that I'm going to be presenting with Capella, because I feel like this is a problem and I don't want other students that's coming in to have the same issue. They need to update the handbook. I mean, come on. So I will say that I was pretty burnt out by week 10, because I was actually really, and I still am, enjoying meeting with my clients, having diverse clientele, learning about different disorders, learning about different interventions, and just being able to apply what I've learned to my clients. And I was not taking care of myself in many ways. And one issue is also that, you know, as interns, we don't get paid. And so if I just close my business and I'm kind of focusing on school, my income is not the best right now. And that was also stressful while trying to accumulate hours, while trying to be a therapist and help other people. So it's very difficult to go through those personal things and not take care of yourself and then be trying to give people therapy. It's just not the best. However, I'm really enjoying my experience at the agency that I'm working at. I love that I have such a diverse clientele. I'm actually learning about different cultures. I really love that, because I have spent a lot of time working with African Americans, which is fine, and I really want to help African Americans because that is my culture. However, I want to also learn about other cultures and how I can be of some service to them as well, and how I can be educated in that space as well. So I will say this, I was very nervous before I got started. I was so nervous, and I want to be transparent here when I say that I think a lot of us have had this thought, if you're going to school to be a therapist or you're already in your newbie stage of being a therapist, we've had these thoughts, these imposter syndrome thoughts of like, am I even going to be a good therapist? And I just feel like you wouldn't be here, you wouldn't have gone this far if you weren't going to be a good therapist. And we all have to start somewhere. And I really was feeling like, oh God, am I going to be a good therapist? I'm nervous. Like, I was so nervous. Like, before my first session, I was like going to the bathroom like 3-4 times before session, like, oh my God. And I'm talking about overthinking, how is it going to be, this and that. And I will say that curiosity and being authentic is something that I can hold with me to calm myself down, because I realize that people, one, they really want somebody that's authentic. They don't necessarily want somebody that is going to try to put on a front, you know, like be a fix-it-all. They just want you to be authentic. And when you remain curious, it shows that you care. You genuinely care about what this person is going through. A lot of the times people have experiences of, oh, I was never able to express myself. I was never able to create an emotional language. You know, people just have not had a space in their childhood and even in their adulthood sometimes to be able to express themselves. And as a therapist, it's very important to be yourself. Add in a little humor sometimes. If you're funny, be genuine and actually show that you genuinely care. And sometimes that really helps people beyond all these, intervention methods that we have to apply from school, which are also very helpful. So in closing out, I will say the internship one is challenging because you have to start off trying to get your hours from a fresh slate. You don't have any clients. And I can see now going into internship 2, it's not going to be as hard because I am building a clientele. I've been doing it for 10 weeks, actually now about 12, almost 13 weeks. You still work and you still take clients over the break, and that goes towards the 300 direct hours. But at first I was just so nervous about it, and now I feel more comfortable. So I will say, create a schedule for yourself. Create a schedule, block off certain times of the day before you get started. Say, I'm going to only work between this time, and do not waver from whatever you set at the beginning. You're going to need that time to go outside, get fresh air, to do whatever you do for self-care. It is going to be extremely important. Remember, you are no good to anybody if you are not taking care of yourself, okay? That's one thing. Stay in contact with your professors. Always double check your handbook. Make sure you're getting the correct hours. Triple check your hours that you're entering into the Core ELMS system. I thought that I had enough hours and I was scrambling at the end trying to get to 24. They also have what's called labs. Labs are like outside virtual classes that you can go to where you can get extra hours. I will say go to those labs within the first couple weeks to try to get your observation hours and to try to get your supervision hours, because you're going to find yourself scrambling because you were focused so much on direct hours sometimes. Those are my tips. Give yourself grace. Stay connected with your classmates as well. Me and my classmates, we have a group text that we're all in. Right now, our teacher still hasn't put our grade in, and we're all like texting each other like, hey guys, and we found out that, she didn't put anybody's grade in. So stay connected with your classmates and just calm the nerves. You're gonna be all right. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment, DM me. I don't see a lot of content about Capella's marriage and family therapy program. So as I go through this program, I'm going to continue to post content and hopefully it's helpful to someone. All right, guys, make sure you subscribe before you leave this video. Peace.
I gotta give a game proper, pretty so she get it, that she is, I gotta stop.